so my name's Pete Price. My business is called Office Essentials. We supply stationery and furniture to people, furniture nationwide and stationery in about a 15-mile radius of Mid-Cheshire, so North Wishwich, Middlewich and surrounding market towns around there. I was invited by one of my customers. It was early days, we hadn't been set up long, and at the time I was reluctant because it was mornings and evenings are the busiest time of the day for us. So at the time I was opening up the warehouse and picking and packing and all that kind of thing and getting things ready for the driver to come in and take it out. So it was difficult, but the crux was that they said that if I couldn't make it, they were going to invite one of my competitors, and I didn't want to miss out. So I went along and signed up straight away. I used to go in and pick and pack before I did, so I went to work at about 5 to pick and pack and then get to BNI for 7. And I'd worked out that there was 2 people around the table, and if I could get one or both of those, well certainly one of them, if I get the solicitors, then that would pay for my membership for the year, and I would give me time, so that was okay. I won both of them, yeah, I won the solicitors and a sort of print broker around the table as well, so yeah, that more than made up for it. Well, just about, yeah, more than, I covered my costs and a bit more, so sort of went towards paying for my time, but when you're just starting up, you just give your time for free, don't you, just to get the thing rolling, so yeah. I think it's 15 years, but it's been a while. I've done everything, but I've always shied away from membership because, yeah, it's a key role and I'm not sure I've got the ability to do that. So, yeah, but I've done everything else. So the idea of the slot that I did was to try and emphasise to people that BNI is so much more about just the people around the table. It's about the people who the people around the table know. And BNI is, in my opinion, is geared up to try and motivate the people around the table to pass you on to their contacts, and it was trying to emphasise that point really. The story was probably from my 2nd or 3rd year in BNI, and the solicitor had invited the painter and decorator who'd just recently done a painting and decorating job around in their reception area, and he was a really nice guy, but he was dead nervous, really nervous, and he stood up next to me, and his hand was in he had a pair of white painter's overalls on, so he was going straight off to do a job, and his hand was in his pocket and he was literally shaking like mad. He was fine one-to-one, but in a group he was just nervous, like we all are when we first start, and he got a lot better. He was probably in BNI for 3 or 4 years when he had to leave for ill health, but he got lots better. One of the spin-offs from BNI is that you get more confident in public speaking and that kind of thing when you've been a member for a while. Anyway, so he stood up and he was really nervous, and his hand was shaking in his pocket, and I just thought to myself, this guy's just not going to make it. He's a painter and decorator trade. He feels obliged to come because the solicitor who's just done a big job for us has invited him, and he's just going to politely, walk away after a bit. But he stuck around, and he said to me one day, my wife works at a company on the industrial estate in Winsford, are you interested? So I said, well, who is it? He said, it's Advanced Medical Solutions. I said, oh, we've been trying to speak to someone there for a while, but we've been getting short shrift, so yeah, any help you could get us would be gratefully received. So he said, I'll have a word with the missus and I'll come back to you. So he come back to me the next week and he said, I've had a word with RLC, and she said if you give her a ring, she can go in and see her, she'll see what she can do. So I went in to see his wife, not really knowing what to expect, didn't tell me what position she was in or anything, but I was keen. It was a big company, so we'll see what we can, see what I can get out of it. So I went in there, and it turns out that Elsie is PA to one of the directors or some kind of senior position on the top floor of this big business, and she just said, right, give this guy a go. He's in the BNI. We want to try and support people who try and support me and my husband, so let's try and give him a go. And straight away we shared the stationery contract with another business locally, and we were probably getting about £12,500 a year business out of it. After a bit, the other stationery company went bust, and they just gave us all the business, which at the time was 25, maybe growing towards 30, and as the business grew, the level of business they did with us grew. Probably about 5 or 6 years ago, they gave us a formal contract, formal 3-year supply agreement, and we now supply them somewhere between £40,000 and £50,000 a year. So I would estimate, just down to BNI, we wouldn't have got that contract, and over the period of that referral, it's probably worth just over, well, probably over £500,000. Yeah, it's tricky because, but every time you come across someone that you think would be a good fit, then, you know, I tell them that I generate about £120,000 a year out of BNI. I just say it works for me. Come along, have a look and see what you think. It's not for everybody, but if you come along and give it a go, who knows? You can't, yeah, you do, and that's wrong. I think that if you're going to join BNI, you have to take at least a 2-year term over it and say, right, the first year I'm going to, so in my first year, I possibly probably just about broke even, and the second year was when I started earning some money out of it, yeah. But if you join for 12 months, then you're not giving it long enough. I think, for me, the essence of BNI is to know, like and trust, and you can't get to, even though we meet every week, and that's really good to get that process going quite quickly, you don't get to know, like and trust 20, 25 people around the table in a short period of time. That takes time, and you need to, so you're not going to refer your best customer to somebody just off the bat like that. It takes time, and you have to know somebody and get to trust them before you're going to start giving any decent referrals. I don't always follow the BNI philosophy, so we're now called BNI Vale Royal, but we used to be called BNI Northwich, so as far as I'm concerned, it's BNI Northwich. We meet at the Blue Cap every Tuesday morning, and we've been meeting at the Blue Cap for probably the last 3 or 4 years. We meet at 7 in the morning, or the meeting starts at 7, and if people want to get in touch, then they can contact me, and my best way to get hold of me is on office line, which is 0845 456 9601, or you can give me an email, which is pete@office-essentials.co.uk.